Welcome, and today I want to talk about budget multi-tools in a greater sense. And we're talking about expectations here, what you should and should not expect to find in a budget multi-tool. Now, your reasons for a budget multi-tool may vary. You may want an additional one to throw somewhere else in your kits, in a backpack, in your car. There's many reasons you might want one. You also might want one because you're looking for something inexpensive. You only have a certain budget, but you still need that tool. So for whatever your reason is, I want to talk about what you should and should not expect from any budget multi-tool that you get. And these are observations I've made over buying between 10 and 15 of them. So without further delay, let's get to it. Okay, so the first thing you should be aware of when it comes to budget multi-tools is weight. In general, budget multi-tools are heavy. They are not easily pocketable. I think the only exception is one of the cheapest ones, this $10 multi-tool, which I reviewed and I thought was very impressive for the $10 price point. In general though, they're usually more than 7 ounces, probably closer to 8, sometimes as heavy as 11 ounces. So they can be quite hefty, which means you're probably carrying it in whatever leather, nylon sheath that they give you. So keep that in mind. The sheath may actually be an important factor if you buy an inexpensive multi-tool. All right, number 2, steel. The steel that you get in these multi-tools, you need a reasonable expectation. Now we've talked down to about 420 HC, but compared to some of the steels that you'll find in budget multi-tools, that would be a huge upgrade. The only multi-tool in here that I think has a 420 HC equivalent, if I'm pretty sure, is the Multi-Force, which has an 8CR blade or combination of blades. So these two blades are in 8CR. Other than that, most of them are in either 3 or 5CR, which are going to be far softer. And that is less of an issue with the blade as it is with the implements themselves. So the scissors and the drivers. In those soft steels, they are not going to hold up very long, which brings us to point number 3. If drivers are important, look for a multi-tool that offers a bit driver in the full 1/4 inch or a 4mm size. So something like the Multi-Force or the BiBury or the cheap $20 BiBury or the Blackfire, which is $29 by the way, we'll be reviewing very soon. Things like that. You want to look for that. Or you want to look for a multi-tool that has the ability to have an adapter. So some of these inexpensive, now of course I'm having trouble, some of these inexpensive multi-tools have Phillips drivers that can accept a adapter that will let you use full hex bits. You're going to want that because the steel is very soft. So keep that in mind. All right, number 4 I believe is about implementation. I have seen a very strong consistency among all of these budget multi-tools and many of the ones I've observed from other channels and other people who reviewed them. And that is that they make excellent scissors and terrible files. These are consistencies pretty much across the board. The only diamond file that looks like it's any good is probably this BiBury. The Multi-Force file has already been well documented of having the diamond coating completely chip off. The crosscut's not very good, and that's pretty consistent. I rarely, if ever, see a file in a budget multi-tool that's worth anything at all. They're all pretty much garbage. Now, to be fair, SOG's files lately have been pretty garbage too, as are a lot of other companies. But the scissors, man, there's some really, really good scissors out there. And you even get some pretty crazy ones. Now this is a $20, well, we'll call it a multi-tool because it does multiply the force. But this is the professional Paul Chen multi-tool. It has a one-handed blade. It came with a pocket clip, which I took off. But these scissors are insane. You can trim trees with them. They're very, very cool. You have cheap, inexpensive multi-tools under $20 that consistently have very, very, very good scissors. Same thing with these. These are like better than the Surge. They're so good. I've seen this consistently across the board, whether it's something like the Fantasticar Sui Pro variant. These things are insanely good. Just in general, scissors are really good, files really bad. The other thing that I don't see that's usually very good is the drivers themselves. When you find a budget multi-tool that has very good bit drivers, you know, like flatheads, Phillips, it's a rarity, and you should definitely let us know because it is quite uncommon. Once again, the Multi-Force, I've noticed that the heat treat on them, they've held up very, very well with everyone we've talked with. That's been very good. I've heard very good things about the Blackfire multi-tool. The heat treat seems to be good on this as well. Very interesting, ultra heavy duty multi-tool. Talk about plier, you know, size. Check this thing out. Which brings us to the next topic, is plier heads. So number 5, pliers. I have consistently seen good pliers coming out of these budget multi-tools. Like, not just okay, like good in that they sometimes beat up on companies like Gerber, which seem to be using steel that is too soft. So that is something I'm seeing consistently. These plier heads are really, really good. Like, surprisingly good. Even the ones in multi-tools that are $20 or even $10, these are surprisingly good. Well heat treated and tough. That's an impressive thing to me. And I think if you're looking for pliers or that just fold, the budget multi-tool may work very, very well for you, especially if you pick the right combination of tools that come with them. So that's another observation. All right, number 6. One thing I have noticed about budget multi-tools and why I tend to buy them is they seem to be the only place right now where I'm seeing any major innovation, like scissors that come off and can be used separately, or large folding scissors inside the frame, like in the Next Tool or the Roxxon. And that is why I keep getting drawn to them. And they sometimes have the 1 or 2 features that distinguish them even within the entire multiverse, as it were. Things like the Blackfire multi-tool with its insane lineman's plier head, right? These are features that make them distinct in the whole group. You have full hex bit drivers. You have, like I said, large scissors. You have cutting shears that are built in, like this Paul Chen. So you get, usually in a multi-tool that is budget, you get 1 or 2 features that are distinctively better than even the most expensive multi-tools on the market. So try to find tools that offer the one function that you want the most, because you're going to end up sacrificing something regardless, even if you go with a non-budget multi-tool. So pick the feature that really is important to you. Okay, so that's it for today. I just wanted to have just a brief reality check when it comes to budget multi-tools and what we should be expecting from them. So I hope this was informative. Maybe you got something out of it. And if there's a specific feature that you're looking for, go ahead and leave it in the comments. If I don't own it, I may have seen it, whether it's on We All Juggle Knives channel or somewhere else. So go ahead and mention it there, and I'll try to get back to you. You guys have a great day.